Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the 212A, it's a Tier 9 Soviet SPG. It's located on the eastbourne of Sand River and it's under the command of General Disturbance. Yes, it's one of my replays, and in this battle I was in platoon, well not in platoon, I was on Zoe Balls' live stream on Twitch TV, and Zoe's in this battle in platoon with several other members of the gang. Yep, Mary Banks is there in the Centurion 7-1, Zoe's in the T95, and I believe Fluffy Little Kitten was in this battle as well in the Char Future 4. There he is. Okay, well, the 212, I've got the 203mm howitzer, which is capable of doing 1050 alpha and penetrates 52mm of armour with a burst radius of just under 11 meters. Well, an enemy tank's been spotted. It's a Barask, of all things, has turned up right in the centre of the riverbed at the bend. Now, he's got very thin armour, that little medium tank. I fire a blind shot in and hit! No explosions, so I know I hit the Barask square on. And given the alpha damage of this vehicle, I've probably badly damaged him. I'm going back to that spot, but I can see lots of enemy movement. In fact, it seems they've got a lemming train on their hands going down to the south side of the map. And I think that's because they intended to actually come round this way. So I'm looking in this direction, but unfortunately my tanks are pulling back and I've lost any sight of the enemy. And the Barask has come into view, and there he is. And he's missing a good third of his hit points already. In fact, he's down to 59%. Oh, I think he's just there. So I've fired a round in and I get a direct hit again. Another blind hit on the Barask. And he can't be very happy now because he's probably lost 2/3 of his hit points at the start of the battle. Well, the Centurion 7-1 on the enemy team is also a member of Reborn, but he spawned on the enemy team. There he is. He's in the Centurion 7-1, and that's Matilda. And he's being chased by a T92 who went down the north route. And I'm looking for another enemy target. Got an ELC Evan 90, he just dies. That was Mary Banks getting the kill. Up here we've got an FE4005. The Tier 10 British tank destroyer. Fire a quick round at him. And it lands next to him for 436, but it would have been nicer if I'd hit the turret because those things got very thin armour on turret. The Barask has come into sight again, but I don't get a chance to fire at him because he goes unsighted before I can see exactly where he is. Now, Matilda appeared to go behind that rock, and he knew that he'd been seen because his sixth sense kept going off. And I thought, well, he's probably still there behind the rock at this moment. So I fired a round in to see if I could flush him out. And apparently I did stun him. And the reason I know that is because I got some stun assist off him just a few seconds later. Okay, there's the stun assist from Matilda. The reason I relocated at this point was because the enemies were getting too close for me to get a good shot on them. And I thought I'd probably be better off if I went to the riverbed as well, slightly further to the north, and shot from there. The enemy Lerva's just been taken out by Zoe with her huge 155mm gun. And she's still got them in her sight, I believe, or she was seen by them. Now I'm going to go down into this dip here. I can see that Matilda up the other end has been seen and found by our rest of the force that went round the outside. And there's Matilda. Yep, I can see him. I actually went to try and hit the tank that was behind him, which is Ferdinand. That was a bigger threat at the time. But then I thought, well, yes, I have to go after Matilda now because he is in sight. And unfortunately, my shell went to the right instead of on him. And then I suddenly realised, yeah, our force had been basically wiped out. This Progetto managed to force them out from the enemy cap area. Our T92 was retreating and the Progetto was coming after him. And I'm lining up a shot, but he's moving very quickly. And the thing about the 212A is it's got a very narrow arc of fire. And if you do try to keep moving the vehicle, you won't get accurate shots, and that was not a very accurate shot. Now I switch back to the south again. We've still got some enemy tanks now. Zoe was actually mentioning the E4 and the Scorpion, and I was trying to dial in on the E4 and reloading. 30.41 seconds is the reload time. I lose sight of the E4, but the Scorpion comes back into sight, so I thought, well, I'd try a round on him, and he mills back just in time to avoid the shell and only gets 22 hit points of splash. At that point I see the Object 705 next to the mosque, and he is actually now visible, and of course he's side scraping on the mosque and attacking our E4 in the riverbed. So I'm waiting for the reload, and I'm going to lay a shell right down on top of that 705. Unfortunately, we just lost the E4 to their T95. I fire and hit the 705 and get 337 off him. The Scorpion dies a very, very loud death by Zoe. And I go back to the E4 but still can't see him, and now we've got the enemy T95 coming in. Okay, switching target. I can just about make out the Barask as well on the minimap, but I'm still going for the T95 because he's the bigger threat for the moment, and I could possibly kill him with one shot. He's killed, and then I see the Barask come into sight. I line him up, work out where he's going. There he is on the corner, and he's a dead duck. Okay, so the enemy Barask has bit the dust. Okay, searching around for a new target. The E4's come back into sight. Marked him as target, but lose him visually. There's the Ferdinand up near the enemy cap area. He was briefly seen. TDs tend to stay still when they're shooting. Rounds out in that spot. That looked like it landed near him. We finally see Matilda, and Matilda was actually facing off at this moment against the T95, another T95 on our team. Object 705 has come down from the mosque. He's now hiding behind that building. Okay, I'm reloading, almost complete. I'm going to demolish that building so he's got no cover. Rounds out. Lands behind him. That was probably the worst shot I made this game, other than the one where I was trying to hit the Progetto. He's receiving fire from our guys to the north, but we can't see him at the moment, and Zoe is the one who can engage him as soon as she can see him. So I thought, well, I'll knock the building down, and there you go, the building's knocked down, he's stunned. Zoe hits him for a huge amount of hit points, 780, and the kill shot comes in from the other T95 to the north bank. Okay, enemy Progetto thinking about what he's going to do next, because now he's facing a lot of tanks all at once. Over here we've got the enemy T95 dialing in. The enemy E4 comes into sight at that moment as well. Even though I hit the frontal armour on the T95 and right on the tracks as well. That should have tracked him, but it didn't. And there's the E4. I've marked him as target now. I often find that if you mark a target, your teammates will focus on that target. In the past it was a lot easier, because when you hit the T key, you would actually cause these arrows to appear above the target, pointing down at it, and then your other teammates will follow those cues and start shooting at the target. But now with these new symbols, which I don't find very appealing, in fact I find very confusing, I'm afraid they're not helping tell people that that's the target I'm going to go for next. In fact, I even noticed and heard today that apparently Klaus Kellerman doesn't know how to use the signal system to actually say thank you or help, or can you assist me or follow me with his F keys anymore, because Wargaming kept changing it, and he actually said that I just don't know which keys to press anymore. So although he'd like to say thank you, He can't. Well, the T124's been stunned. He's going further down the riverbed. Looks like he's headed north. Fluffy little kitten's moving in with the Char Future 4. He's in contact with the enemy. He's got a little, if you look at the minimap, you can see there's a little light bulb next to him. So they've seen him. And I've seen the FV4005 that's looking at him. I'm about to shoot. Rounds out. Lands in front of the FV4005, but I'm pretty sure it would have stunned him. It did. And that makes him an easy target. And he's taken out the game by our Progetto. That leaves just this T110E4 and the T95. The E4's gone. Fluffy gets a kill. In fact, Fluffy's got 4 kills so far. He's been very busy. Zoe's got 3. Marybank's got a kill before she was wiped out, unfortunately. And I get a nice critical hit on the T95. The Progetto's going in. You can see all those yellow stains on the front of his vehicle. Those are the HE rounds that have impacted on him. And he's a goner now. There you go. And that was the end of the game. So a nice successful game for Zoe and her team. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats and we'll see how it all panned out. Well, it was a first class tanker for General Disturbance in the 212A. I've had an ace in this one before, so this is not the first time I've had first class. I got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 19 in this one. I also managed to get a Gore's medal, an epic medal, for exceeding 8 times the hit points of my own vehicle in damage, as well as a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on my team. And my win rate from the battle was 4,245, which is Super Unicum standard. So let's have a look at the team scores and see where I stood. Well, you can see I actually did get the highest damage in the game, but no high caliber. 4,212 hit points of damage from that one. The next high scorer being Zoe Balls with 3,694 hit points, followed by the other T95 with 3,036. We can see that Fluffy Little Kitten managed to get 1,578 hit points of damage. And if we look further down the page, we can see Mary Banks is down there with 139 hit points of damage, but she did get a kill out of it. When it came to kills, it was Fluffy who got the highest number. He got 4 kills in that game. 3 kills went to Zoe, 2 kills to Captain Snickers in the Progetto 46, what a name. And I only got the 1 kill alongside Mary in the battle. And when it came to base XP, it was Zoe did the best. She has 1,025 experience points to Zoe, 994 to myself, 968 to Captain Snickers, and we can see Fluffy was 4th on experience with 898. And Marybanks, well, she got 601 in the end, so it's not a bad score actually, because that's better than anyone on the enemy team. So you see, she does play well. And if you look at the detail report, you can see she got, I fired 17 rounds in that game, 5 direct hits, no penetrations at all, 16 splash, damage of 4,212 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I damaged 10 of the enemy, killed 1, so there was a 9 difference there, so it was easy Confederate for that. 1,012 hit points of stun assist of 15 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 53,024 credits and got 26,512 from personal reserves, so my total was 79,535. And after ammunition resupply, I took away 47,065 credits. I earned 1,491 XP, times 2 for the first victory of the day, same again from personal reserves, and took away 4,473 experience points altogether. I suppose actually the most unlucky person in that game was in fact that poor Barask. I hit him twice with blind shots. I didn't penetrate him. According to it says twice, but actually I hit him 3 times, because I hit him the first time with a direct hit, a blind hit, in the riverbed. I hit him again with a direct hit when he was hiding on the ramp, and the third hit was a splash hit, and that was the one that killed him. It landed right next door to him when he had low hit points left. He lost his fuel tank tracked again, driver, so I had 4 critical hits, and I got all of his hit points, 1,250 out of the game. So he was the most unlucky person, because I hit him 3 times, and yeah, 2 of them blind hits as well. So yes, very unlucky for him, but quite a good game for the rest of us. And I think we all thought at one point during the game that the thrust the enemy was making along the south end of the map was going to succeed, and that they were going to overrun our cap area. And that's why I had to move position to ensure that I could keep firing. But Zoe held up on that end of the map. She kept steadfast and fired in at them as they were coming. And everyone else did a really great game. And, well, we won. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. And if you want to join in these games, just like this one, Zoe has 3 streamings a week. One on Tuesday night, one on Thursday night and one on Saturday night, and you're welcome to come along and join in the battles in Countdown, and you can be playing with your friends on various maps, and you can join in on TeamSpeak as well, and you're welcome to take part in the fun. It's all a laugh, everyone has a great time, and unless of course you get hit, and then even then we always laugh if we do get hit. During last night's session, I actually did get killed by Zoe at least once. So it does happen. But we laugh about it and we enjoy these sessions. So if you do want to come along, please do. So thanks very much for watching.